All right, I think we're ready to start. So again, for those who have already joined our session, welcome to our first webinar in our three-part webinar series on Microsoft 365 Copilot. My name is Michiel de Ridder. I am a business development manager for Microsoft within the ROECS Cloud team, and will be your virtual host for today. As mentioned, today's session is about Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So what we will do or cover today is, of course, what Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat is, how it compares to other solutions in the market, AI solutions in the market that you might know already, how it distinguishes itself, and of course we will cover some practical use cases on how to use this smart assistant in an efficient and productive way. I'm quite convinced we will be able to show you some features that you might not know yet about, or you might not, let's say, not use or leverage well enough today. And then afterwards, of course, we will still discuss also how you as a partner can really use Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot to build your AI business. So we will talk you through the first steps that you can take to actively guide your customer in the AI opportunity and what services you can deliver to accompany them in this. Now, today, fortunately for me, I don't have to deliver the training myself. For that, we have invited our co-trainer, Vincent Kleijs. He has more than 10 years in the Microsoft ecosystem, and currently he helps organizations to leverage the Microsoft tools that they have in the most successful way. For example, Copilot. Now, before I give the word to Vincent, what I would like to propose is that in case you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat or to unmute your mic. You can do it in English, you can do it in French, you can do it in Dutch. Don't worry, we will respond in your corresponding language. So with that, I would like to give the word to Vincent.
Hello, hello. Good morning, or yeah, it's almost afternoon.
For us, it's afternoon.
For me, it's noon, right? So I'm an hour behind. So voila, let's get started immediately. So topic of today, Copilot Chat. That's the only thing that we're going to talk about today. So let's immediately kick it off. So that's me. I'm Vincent. As Michiel said, I'm from Belgium, but living in Portugal with my little family. And I've helped big companies, even when we introduced Copilot 2 years ago, helped them train the teams across the world. So I have some hours of workshops already. So again, as Michiel also said, drop it in the chat, unmute yourselves. If you have questions, let's make it an interactive session because I have some demos prepared and everything. Some people filled in the forms. I've looked at the answers, so I will try to correlate them a little bit. But again, if something pops up, just pop it in the chat. So let's first just put it in the chat as well. Which AI tool do you use regularly? I probably know which one will be the most in the chat, but let's just push it in, then I get your attention sucked to the Teams environment, and then we can go to the next one. Nice. So I see a couple of people. Copilot, that's already good. Oh, yeah, it's Michiel, of course.
Yeah, it's been good. I want to give the good example and already start.
Indeed, ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, so indeed the biggest ones, Cloud, Perplexity is. That's just keep them coming, but indeed the usual suspects, as they would say. So let's just kick it off. What is Copilot Chat? It's already a good one that everybody is working with, a sort of LLM, so I can jump or I can go a bit faster and go immediately to the demo. So if I go too fast again, I want to run through these slides, then I can demo as much as possible. So what is Copilot Chat? It's built for work. right? It uses the latest AI models from OpenAI. It's an AI chat tool. It has enterprise data protection. That's the most important part. When you compare Copilot with Gemini, with ChatGPT, with Claude, whatever, I need to say it the right way. Copilot Chat has enterprise data protection. It only uses data for the web, the free version. I refer to the free version. I know it's not free-ish because it's included in your subscription and you pay your Microsoft subscription, but still, it's the free version because you also have a paying version. So that's how I make the distinction for the ease of use and also to not say 100 times the same thing. It can generate images, you can upload files and refine, collaborate your responses. Look and feel, but you will see a lot of it in the demo. This is an important one because I get the question a lot, like, okay, but is my data safe? Does my data not go blah, 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 and everything? Your data is safe, right? Microsoft keeps your data within the Microsoft 365 service boundary. So whatever you put in from files, from chats, from corporate data, whatever, your data is safe. If you go to ChatGPT, if you go to one other of the other LLMs that exist, there is a possibility that they can use the data to train the system, right? If you not went to the settings in privacy and change it, if you have uploaded already documents in, I think a lot of us have already done, it could be, so that's just a data risk starting to happen, right? So data stays within the Microsoft environment, within the policies that your IT team has set up. So if you use for work, just keep on using Copilot Chat because otherwise there is a possibility, and definitely for your end user or for your team members, if they're not very tech savvy or whatever you want to call it, there is a possibility they don't think about that. So I mentioned as well that the latest AI models. So with ChatGPT or with Copilot Chat, you have access to the GPT-4o, but also to the GPT-5, so the new OpenAI flagship model. If you just use Copilot Chat in the normal way, when you just immediately start typing, you're using the GPT-4o. But if you click right on top, try GPT-5, you will have GPT-5 available for your prompt. So depending on the questions, it goes through high level or it really goes into deeper reasoning. If it needs to do research or whatever, it will use the deeper reasoning GPT-5 part of it. Again, most importantly here, both models are made secure, so they use your enterprise data protection, which is very important in a business environment. So stop using ChatGPT. I should put all the other logos there as well, but just don't use it anymore if you do it for company data. Just use your Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat because the engine is the same and it's just safer than using ChatGPT. Where can you find Copilot Chat? You can find it online in the app, on the Edge, Teams, Outlook, and there is also a mobile application. If you're on the road, then you can use Copilot Chat as well. So within Copilot Chat, you also have a couple of options, which is also very important to mention because again, as you can see here on the left, you have the personal version. So that's for your personal subscriptions. If you log in there and you don't have a personal pro, so if you're just having the personal free version, the system can also use, or the model can also use your data to train it. So make sure if you go for work, always log in with your work account and make sure that the green shield, I don't know if it's very visible here on the slide, but I'll show it anyways later. Make sure that the green shield is shown, so then you know the enterprise data protection is on and you're logged in with your work account, right? So as I said, today we're going to talk about the Copilot Chat, the free version. Next week, we will talk about Copilot 365, the paying version. And the week after that, or 2 weeks after that, we will talk about agents or more into details. I'm just going to run through this because I'll talk about this in the demo. Now, the most important part is what is an effective prompt, right? Because it's with all systems bullshit in is bullshit out. So if your prompts are not very specific or super vague, then you will get, of course, vague answers. So if you have an example, summarize news about Microsoft, then you will get so much information that probably is not relevant if you're specifically looking for Copilot information, for example. So when are they more effective? If you use specific and detailed information, full sentences, specific instructions, and yeah, we've made together, or Microsoft made like a little bit of a prompt guide, which we will go through now. That's on the next slide. Maybe this one is also very important to mention. 2 years ago, somebody from Microsoft, I don't remember who, when we were having some internal sessions, came up with this sentence, and it resonates, right? Because then you really get the feel of, okay, how do I need to treat Copilot, or how do I need to talk to it? So treat Copilot Chat as your very own personal assistant on its very first day. Because if you have your own personal assistant on its first day, it doesn't know any context. It just doesn't know anything. You just need to let them know what they need to do specifically, which files, what the output is that you want, some general context that you need to give. And from that, we are coming to some best practices, let's call them. So those right prompt ingredients. You need to have a goal. So what response do you really want from Copilot or any other LLM, right? What's the context? So why do you need it, and who or what in which files are involved? Some sources. So other information sources, do you have like websites that you want to give? Again, files or not, that Copilot should use for its analysis. And then expectations. So what is your outcome that you want? Do you want a Word file? Do you want it in a PowerPoint? Do you want to just have it in a table in plain text? That's something that you need in your prompt as well, because then the system knows, or Copilot knows, what it needs to provide as an answer. So if you combine all that, you can have as a goal, generate client-ready summary, context for upcoming status meeting with person X. A source is a file that we have with some pain points, milestones, feedbacks, and then the expectations. I want to have a presentation in a slide deck. So if you throw it all together, you will have this prompt. We will show it in a minute. If I push it into Copilot Chat, what comes out, that we will show. So if you still want to have some more prompts, there is a prompt gallery. You can click on that as well into Copilot Chat to get some more information. Agents. I saw a couple of people in the forums talking about agents. I would say definitely subscribe for the webinar in 3 weeks. But for now, I will just go through it high level. I will show one small example as well, because with the free version of Copilot Chat, you can also make some agents, right? So what is an agent? It's a digital worker in your team, right, that can understand instructions and take actions upon them. How many or what type of agents do you have? Pre-built by Microsoft, so they are available for everybody. But you can also build your own agents. The pre-built one is prompt coach, writing coach, learning coach, whatever. And then your own ones is you want to build a marketing content strategy agent, you want to build an automated contract review. We will build one that is creating statements of works based on a specific format that we have defined. That's also something that you can make. But for now, let's start the demo. That's the most interesting part. As I said, I know I went super fast through it, but I don't see any questions, and I will just ask it. Are there any questions? Nope. All right, then we'll...
So far, so good, I think.
So far, so good, huh? Then we will go to this one. Yes, all right. So what I'm gonna do for the demo today, I'm gonna use the online version. Why? Because that's on a tenant that doesn't have Copilot in, so you really have the view what you have today. Because at my other tenant, which I have here, the Teams, I have Copilot in, so there are some differences, but not too many. First of all, that's a new thingy that's launched a couple of weeks ago. If you don't have that yet, you need to update it. It's memory and personalization. So if you go here to settings on the right top, then you can go to personalization, and you can have memory and custom instructions that you can add. Now, we had that already in ChatGPT, right? You could already do that, but now since a couple of weeks, it's also available here. So for the memory, that's one from the previous workshop, but I'll delete this one. So we don't have any memory. Imagine now I really want to have Copilot always answer in my tone of voice, in my writing style. So I just ask the question, give me 5 questions to learn about my writing style. Now, I just have prepared already an answer, which I will just copy paste into it. I like it conversational, I like structure using bullet points, etc. So if I prompt this, you see here, the memory is updated. If we double check it again, we go again here on the right top to the settings. We click on personalization, Copilot memory, and then we see that I prefer to have my writing style like this. So this is an interesting one. I've done it back in the time in ChatGPT as well to help me a little bit that I don't need to put it in the prompt every time. So this helps for that. Now, let's go to a new chat. So here on top on the right, we can click on new chat. And if you want to use GPT-5 or not, you can click it on. For this one, we will use it now. So remember the prompt we had in the PowerPoint. I will add it here. And then I have a demo file with some more information about the milestones that we had from a discussion, sort of a transcript. So we'll just add that one here. So it now starts creating the outline of the deck because we asked for a presentation. So it creates the outline and then you can say, okay, this is good, this is not good, I want it differently. So then I ask to create a slide deck for it. Just create it like this. Voila. What does it specifically ask? Well, otherwise I'm going to lose too much time. I'm going to share my other screen because there I have yes, I have this one. This is to share what type of presentation now comes out, because back in the day, I was also not very convinced of what type of presentations Copilot was making. It was actually pretty useless, let's say. But this is from another prompt that I made to just make a PowerPoint around Copilot Chat, for example. And it came out with this. That's the only thing that I asked. Create a PowerPoint about Copilot Chat. So you can, of course, tailor it as much as you want around the outline that you want to do. So this is exactly what I've asked to create. Just going to check. It's with my other account. Voila. So now I'm going to go back to my no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Now I'll go back on to this one. Yes. Well, another interesting one is even with the Copilot Chat that's also launched a couple of weeks ago, you can in document. So if you're in Word, in PowerPoint, in Outlook, or through the web, and you go to the specific application, you can also already use Copilot Chat. So here I have a multilingual client email, right? We all know it in Belgium. We have French, Dutch, English, whatever. So I've made here an example. And I can actually already just go immediately into Copilot. So again, this is the free version, right? I don't have any Copilot license on this. I only have a business, what is basic license here, where I do this demo. So if I use the following prompt then to summarize this email, list customer requirements, risk due dates, and who owns what, it will come up with a specific reply. So this is coming from this email thread. So it exactly does what I asked. I'm not going to go into too many details, of course. So now I'm just going to ask write a reply in Dutch, confirming the timeline, highlight some open items, and an extra question. I can, of course, ask it in whatever language that we prefer. But this is really to showcase that you don't need to have a paying license to work in the application. Only the downside here is, of course, that you cannot link to other files. You need to upload them. And if you are in Word, for example, it cannot create documents for you. It can just analyze, summarize, bullet points, whatever. That's what's possible. So that's a big change, because before that you always needed to copy paste the documents or upload the documents into Copilot Chat. So it's an extra or a couple of clicks less that you need to do, which is great. Let me maybe go to SOW. That's probably something that we all create a couple of times, not a day, but maybe per month, right? So my prompt is, I want to use the Copilot adoption document. So the document that I've created a while ago. I want to create that, so I upload it. And I also have a SOW outline. So this is a document with the outline of how I want my specific SOW be used. And I want it delivered into a Word document. So now it's going to analyze those two documents. There is limitations in the free version. So the version that we're talking about here, you can only upload 3 documents at the same time, at the same prompt, right? A workaround there is, I'll show it to you in a minute probably. When you have more files, you just upload them in batches of 3, and you just say, give a prompt as, this is for your information. You don't need to do anything with it yet. And then when you have the last files, you just put your prompt, and then it will use all the files in the chat to do the analysis. So if I now yeah, you can't see that. All right. Switch. So if I now open the document, that you can see what has been created. So this has now been created. So the introduction and the objectives, the scope of work, deliverables, timeline, roles and responsibilities. So that all has now been created automatically by it. I will now just share my other screen. That will be more easy to show the files, then I don't need to switch constantly. All right, so that's for the SOW. Now imagine I want to do a follow-up one. I also want to create a Gantt chart. So we talked about that it is able to create visualizations and other stuff. You can ask it here immediately. You don't need to go to the Create tab to create a Gantt chart with it. Now, it takes a bit of time to create that. So I will go to the next thing. You have Pages as well. Pages is like a collaboration environment which you can share with other people in your company to work on the same document. Now here I have the answer that I got. I can add some text, just blah blah blah, and of course I could share it with people in my environment to co-work on it if it's an important document for a customer. That's something that we could do then together. Now it's generated, or it has generated the Gantt chart, and I would like to inform now my colleague from the technical department with this SOW. Just FYI that my colleague is up to date, that it's there. Voila. Then I can just copy paste this into an email or in Outlook, and I can send it. Even here, if you could send or set in your memory that you are that I'm Vincent and this is my work title, then it always adds it here as well on the bottom, so that I don't need to manually type it. That's a possibility, of course, as well, if you would like to. Voila. Another thing that I would like to show now is a comparison of a couple of files together. So imagine we have a job description for where we are looking for a Microsoft person, a Microsoft engineer, and we have 2 CVs. So we have a CV from candidate 1 and a CV from candidate 2. And here you see I have only maximum of 3 files. I will add now another one, and as you can see, I can only upload 3 files at a time. So what I will do is I will say here, use these files as your information. Don't act yet. To need to go. file first. All right. So when he does that, I have also created another document with a fake company that I came up with some information, who we are, what our culture is, our values, our service offerings, etc. Just because Copilot Chat cannot read internal documents, we just are going to do it like this to be useful in the next prompt. So what this prompt will be is I'm going to ask Copilot Chat to compare two candidate CVs, so from these two, the job description, which I uploaded here, and then compare it to our company as well, if they would be a fit culture-wise, etc. So if I ask this, then it will create a comparison table of those two people. So we had indeed John Smith and Emily Davis. So it shows as well where it gets the information from, so that you always know from which file or which source it uses. Then here you say, yeah, John Smith is a solid candidate, etc. But you can ask now, prepare me on some interview questions to see if they are fit for our culture. So it took out the mission, vision, core value, and our culture. And here it then asks some or prepares us for some questions that we could ask in the interview. Now, this was all on GPT-4o. We can, of course, use GPT-5 for this as well. Just going to pause a bit. I don't see extra questions, but are there questions that popped up now, like, can you do this or can you do that? If you have, please unmute yourself, then I could help there.
Maybe a quick question to the audience also is, for example, we started with Copilot memory and instructions. So I wanted to know if anyone has already started using that since its release. I have done it myself now, and it has really made the experience much more structured and how should I put it? I always get my responses, my replies in the same way I want to receive them, but obviously it's something that many people do not know yet or do not use yet. So I was wondering if many of you are already leveraging that functionality. I think we have a shy public today. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, but then we'll jump to the next one because I have 50 more minutes. So the next demo or example that I'm going to give, I think we all know it or we have all done it already in the past. We received a tender. I here made now an example from the Belgian federal government. That is a couple of pages long. They want to go for Microsoft. They need to have some and Copilot licenses. They want to have some adoption and change management services. So we're going to see how we as a company fit against this tender. What if we should go for it or not? If yes, what are the specific requirements, etc. So I'm going to upload. Let me just go to a new chat. I'm going to try the GPT-5. So I uploaded that document. I'm gonna upload now again the file of the description of our company, which also includes what type of people we have. And that's about it. Then I want to have this prompt. So it asks, okay, you see attached, you have the tender and you have our company description. Summarize me the tender and compare our capabilities of our company to the requirements. And as an output, give me a go or no go if we should go for it, and give enough explanation. So now we have GPT-5 on. Since it is not very complex and we only need to use files, it goes pretty fast. So the objective, it's what I've showed, contract details, the scope. So it gives you a full summary of it. That's our company that we have built, our strengths, our potential gaps. We have no explicit, large development that we already done. Not stated if you have Copilot enablement at scale, if you already done it, if you have an UDCAR certification. So that was all not mentioned in our company description. So recommendation from our Copilot friend is no go. Why? Because we haven't or we don't have UDCAR certification, we don't have a proven large scale experience. So what it actually proposes is maybe we should work together with a partner that has that experience, maybe have that in our network, etc. And now we can, of course, go more into details if we need to. But it can give you already a fast summary. Here we can ask then, draft me an email for my manager why we shouldn't go for this tender. It gives you one that you then can copy paste or not, depending on what you want to do. So that's an easy decision of this question, right? Maybe let's go to another one, but for this one I will use this version, because there I don't have an issue with competing tenants. Let's go to the marketing campaign, the one that I want to do. I don't know if... Wait, there is another more interesting one. Yeah, a tailored sales proposal. I'm going to do that one. Then I can use this one again. Let's upload the files. So what I'm going to do is I received a client brief from a customer or prospect with some in French, with some besoin, with constraints that we have about a specific project that they would like to do. So I'm going to upload that one. I'm going to upload as well our pricing sheet. So here you can see an Excel file with some easy prices, like what we do, the quantity and the unit price. So I will add that one as well. Then I will also add the product brochure of our company. And again, I wanted to add another file, but first, with the limitation of only 3, this is for your information. There is another document coming. Read this first, don't act. Voila. And then we have our proposal template that I want to add here as well. So wait till he is done. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to draft a concise proposal in English for this specific client. I want to have context, solution fit, timeline, deliverables, etc. And also a GDPR compliance note for the data handling. And I've added this proposal template. So now it will use that. It created an executive summary, objectives and scope. And to showcase it, this was the proposal template that I uploaded. So if we see executive, objectives, solution overview, next one should be project plan and timeline, then training and support. We have the pricing according to our price document that we uploaded, GDPR, and some assumptions and next steps. So now I can ask to throw it into a Word template, and then I can send this to a customer, or just draft an email for this document to the customer. Voilà. And then we can start, or we could copy paste this into the email, and we can share it then with the customer. So that's an interesting one, because you have different type of documents, you have different type of languages. comparing a customer demand, a customer project brief to our offering that we are offering as a company. So there are some workarounds if you're just working with the free version and not with the paid version of I cannot access my internal files. So you could always upload the files accordingly and then build with it. I still have a couple of more minutes. I don't see an extra question. Nope. So because in the Excel that or in the forms, there were a couple of people that asked about agents. Now, if we go here to the agent part, you see a couple of agents that are available from Microsoft, some pre-built ones. This you can see them here. If you click on them, this agent can update your quote or your prompt. So let's just copy paste an easy one, the last one that we've used, and then he's going to rewrite it into a possibly better one. Okay, first want to specify clarify the following. But this is a very interesting website that I'm actually most of the time using, because otherwise I need to spend so much time on defining this and this. I can share the link in the chat. What I do here is just I copy paste, right, the same one. And it will turn my lazy prompt into a better prompt. I use this site when I'm working more on complexer prompts. If it's just an easy one of create a PowerPoint of this, whatever, then of course this is not really necessary. But if it's a more complex one, like I want to create a marketing strategy, or I need to compare documents based on certain requirements, then I would use this website, because it really explains it better into a situation, task, objective, and knowledge. So that's a bit my way of working. And then you can just copy paste that one into Copilot Chat, and you will get the same, or you will get probably a better answer. So that's for that. Now, of course, those are some pre-built ones. We also want to build our own agents. So what we're going to do, I showed in the beginning the SOW generator. So let's now just create an agent for that, because in SOW, if we work with it, we always need to have it in the same format. So we're gonna do that. Where is it now? So here it just asks you, you can describe it or you can configure it, but I just want to use this prompt that I'm going to put in to create my statement of work. So now I let it work a little bit. So it's now analyzing and already filling in the description and the instructions. So let's now, yes, that's a good name. It proposes a name as a W drafting assistant. That's fine. Voila. Now you could give it more information, of course, if you have, for example, a specific website that you want to add, an external website that has your information of an SOW, for example. I've already built another agent where it should validate your GDPR notes that you put into documents. Of course, you can link that to the GDPR requirements. That's free public information. So you could link that, right? But here I haven't added one, but you could always ask or add one. So here it's a statement of work. It ensures every field is filled in. It needs to use this format, use Euro. If we then click on create, it will start creating the agent, and then I can just upload the file without adding a prompt, because it will always use the same steps provided there. So if I then click on go to agent, and I will upload that file that I had from the beginning, right? Remember from the first scenario about the Copilot adoption project, I can just add it and it will start drafting up the SOW based on go with the information. So I asked as well in the agent instructions, if you're missing specific information, ask it first. So that's what it's doing now. But I'll just reply, go with the information that I have provided. So then it starts building. You see, I didn't provide company name yet, department or an office location or whatever. So it will now build out my SOW based on what I have asked or what I specified. If you don't want to have project objectives, but you want to call it projects agreement, whatever, you can still change that, of course, in the agent's instructions. And then when you have another request for it, you will that will be taken into account. Now you can, of course, share this. Well, of course, you can share this if you have the link to it. You can share it to a colleague that he or she can also use it. Again, limitation here is you can only use public websites. If you want to build an agent, because I saw one reply of the forums for ticketing, I think it was. No, for internal OneNote and SharePoints. You can build an agent on that, but for that you need to have the paying version, or you need to have Copilot Studio licensing as well, because otherwise you cannot do that. Because when people are gonna ask to the agent needs to go to the SharePoint site where all the information is. Then it needs to come back, and for that you need to have either a paying license or a subscription on prompts. But that you can make in the same way, right? So if you have a paying version, it's a bit the same, but I'm not going to spoil anything because we're going to talk about that next week and in 3 weeks, I think. So I can still go on for hours and hours with demos and other scenarios that I have, but any questions? Gilles, are there personal agents or you can share with other members? Well, yeah. Did we discuss Notebook? Notebook is not for now, it's for next week. Why? Because Notebook is not available in the free version. So you see, right? I'm here in that in the Copilot Chat version, and you don't see it here popping up. But if I take my paying version, you see Notebooks here. But that's, again, I'm not going to spoil the fun for next week. That's for next week, yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have a specific case for which they want to see if it's possible to use Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat? We still have a few minutes before we end the session with the part on how you can build a successful practice on Copilot. So unless you have... we see a question on Dingo. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same. I think because it's a rather new feature that we are not yet in the updated or in the right update wave. But I have the same. I can't see it on my app, but I can see it online, as you can see it here. I have it. So that happens with new features. It depends on which rollout wave you are. But yeah, maybe Guillaume, if you can try to go to the web version and see if you have it available there, that would be great. Because normally this feature you should have it as well in Word and in PowerPoint. But again, personally, I don't have it as well. Well, in the free version. Because if I go here now, because remember this is the version. Oh no, not OneDrive. If I go here to Word. Normally, if I check...
It's also something, just as a quick note, something that the admin still can turn on, turn off.
That's also true.
In the admin center, the admin for your Microsoft 365 environment gets to decide where the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat is visible. So at the start of the presentation, Vincent spoke about where you could potentially see Copilot Chat, but it's still up to the admin to decide where they will allow to make it visible. So if your admin has it enabled for you, then you will be able to see it directly in the application. Yep. If that's not the case, probably not. Or it can always be, like Vincent has mentioned, also depending on the update wave, because that can sometimes also affect whether or not you have access to Microsoft functionalities.
Yes, and I saw then another question from Gagik. Can Copilot Chat be used to summarize Teams conversations? No, because it cannot read your files. It's really just this. What you can do is copy paste it into Copilot Chat, or if you have a meeting and you have the transcription on, you can copy paste the transcription on it, transcription into Copilot Chat. That's possible. And then those emails, I've shown that in the beginning, right? So that's just if you go to that complex email thread that you can have, you can ask it here already to summarize, and then it will summarize it here on the site. Voilà.
Okay, super. With that, I would like to thank you, Vincent, for again for showing us what is possible today, and also for showing some new functionalities that not everyone knows already about or already uses. As promised, we're rounding up the session, but we'll end, of course, with some information how you as a partner can build a practice around Microsoft 365 Copilot, and how you can start leveraging this great AI assistant with your customer and build a successful practice around it. So the question that is always asked by both partners and their customers is, where do we start? And we believe the best place to start is by first recognizing that AI as a whole, not just Copilot, but AI as a whole, is a real business opportunity for an organization. Why? Because it can really help to elevate efficiency within an organization, within its processes, its tasks. That means more time is available for the organization to innovate, and innovation can be stimulated by using AI as well, integrated again in your solutions, in the tools, in the processes that are part of an organization. And by innovating, of course, you can have, as an organization, a competitive advantage over your competitors in the market. So for a customer, applying using AI offers a lot of opportunities, a lot of benefits. But of course, we always need to be conscious of what the risks are about AI, when you start doing a deployment or a rollout within an organization. And that's why it's always important, before you do so, before you deploy AI, is also to be conscious about the needs of the organization and the needs of different departments in the organization, because those can differ. The business side will always look into AI as an opportunity, but will be actively looking for the impactful use cases that offer a clear return on investment. And obviously, they want to work with tools that are easy to adopt, but also transparent in use. And that transparency is, of course, important, because the business, they will be concerned with the scalability of that solution. And out of scalability, our concern is always, what will be the cost if we scale this solution within our organization? And obviously, the business side of an organization obviously wants to make sure that when an AI solution is being deployed in an organization, that it's also being adopted in an effective manner, but also is used in a compliant way that takes into account any internal rules on ethics and so on, but also maybe external rules that are enforced by an external government. And then, of course, we have the IT department within the organization that, of course, tends to look at AI in a different way. They, for example, want to make sure that an environment is scalable to be able to deploy AI. And they, of course, want to make sure that the data within the organization is of high quality, is of good use when using AI. And then, obviously, when we talk about data, we want to make sure that the tools that are used are secure and take into account the fact that some data needs to be protected and cannot be used, for example, by those tools. So for an IT, the main concerns when starting with AI is, for example, the technical debt. IT departments want to avoid rolling out AI in a free way, let's say, because it hosts the risk that it is not being applied in a good manner, it might harm the company more than the benefits that AI can offer, and this is something you want to avoid. So this is why also, for example, the lack of control can be a reason why IT is hesitant on, for example, deploying AI solutions within the organization. So in order to overcome those concerns, it's obviously important to create a strategy around AI that takes into account all these needs and all these concerns, and aligns those with, again, the business objectives of an organization. So the reality today is, of course, many customers ask questions on the what, the how, the when, where do we start, what tools do we best need, how can we scale these AI tools in our organization. And for the answers to these questions, they will look at the partner, at you. So you will need to be able to answer those questions that your customer currently has. So that is why it is important for you as a partner to understand that AI is a service opportunity. And so when we talk about this service opportunity, it is important to know that the services are and cover basically the whole life cycle of an AI project. And so, for example, here are some examples of what steps you can take with your customer and the corresponding services that you can deliver. We always start with advising a customer, helping them to build that AI strategy, figuring out where are we going to start with AI? How are we going to use it? Where are we going to use it? Where are we not going to use it? What are the best use cases within our organization? And you as a partner are in the ideal position to help helping customers with that. So by doing inspiration sessions, by helping them develop that AI strategy, by building cases and so on. And obviously, at the same time, you want to make sure that your customer is also technically ready to deploy this solution. So making sure that when it comes to their data estate, everything is securely governed, that there is appropriate data hygiene rules applied, and so on. So for you as a partner, you get to, for example, deliver assessments at your customers so that they can understand where they're currently at. Is that environment ready for AI? Yes or no? And then obviously, based on the results of the assessments, you can get to, for example, deliver services to help them to apply the security policies or data governance policies. Obviously, once the organization then is prepared on a technical level, you can start selling the AI tools that they might need, or for example, a Copilot. And then once it has been deployed, you obviously want to make sure that it is being used in a successful way. So this is all about adoption and change management. So that means delivering user training, but also proactively measuring the return of investment of the AI investments that they're making. How are people using the AI tools that we are provisioning? And then what could be the next case? How can we expand within the organization? And so if we talk about expansion, we also must look into, for example, the creation and the deployment of specific agents that, like Vincent mentioned at the start, can help really to help automate specific tasks and processes. Now, obviously, the question then is, okay, but where does Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat fit within this whole process, in this service cycle? Well, we believe it is the right tool to position at the first, let's say, first steps. So that means while you're actively helping, advising your customer on building an AI strategy, on defining the first cases and helping them to technically get ready for deployment, it is already a good idea to say to the customer, hey, while we do this, why not start with an AI tool that is secure, that is part of your Microsoft 365 license, so it's free for you to already use. And that does offer already some extensibility features so that once your organization is ready for deployment of paid AI tools, that you can actively grow the usage and grow the deployment cases within your organization. So again, Copilot Chat is really about helping you to introduce your customer to AI in a secure and impactful way, while you still, as a partner, get to help prepare the customer for the first phases. And so when we talk about help, you're not alone in this. What is important for you to know is that we as Arrow are here to help you to build your AI business. And we have a lot of values to offer you to help you with that. So obviously, we have some internal expertise on a technical and sales level to help you build your capabilities. We have a platform, Aerosphere, where you can buy and provision a lot of the AI solutions that are on the market today, such as Copilot. And then obviously, we have additionally some solution services and programs that can help you, again, expand your AI capabilities, whether you prefer to use existing capabilities by other service partners such as us, or whether you prefer to build them yourself. We can help in both instances. And for example, when we talk about programs that you can use to build your capabilities, one example is, for example, our AI Accelerator program. This is essentially for you as a partner, a whole program that composes of an AI Academy, where you as a partner have the unique opportunity to take an assessment, measure your current AI capabilities, for yourself, but also measure them or compare them better with the AI capabilities of other partners in the market. So you can get a unique opportunity to understand where you currently are in your AI journey. And next to that, you will get a tailor-made, a personalized learning path for you to develop those missing capabilities or the capabilities you actively seek. And for example, if you're interested in learning more about how to apply the AI stack of Microsoft, of NVIDIA, or any other vendor, you will get additional training materials to help you support in that journey. And then obviously, as part of this program, our belief is that having internal experience is very much important when it comes to AI. It helps to build authority. It helps to better understand what your customers go through when applying AI. And this is why we put a lot of emphasis in allowing our partners to also build their own experiences by, for example, using Aerosphere Assistant or by using our Copilot Lab, for example. And then obviously on the later phase, we want to make sure that you as a partner also have some capabilities to build your own AI tools or your own AI agents or assistants that you can leverage within your own organization or provide as a solution, as a purchasable solution to your customers. Now, obviously, the AI Accelerator program is an EMEA initiative, so it is a virtual initiative, let's call it like that. We obviously also have a local approach. This is our Copilot optimization plan, where we have a similar objective, mainly helping you to build an AI practice, help you build the capabilities on a technical and a sales level that you need, help you build attractive solutions and offers for the market, help you to promote these offers, obviously, to the market, and make sure that it offers plenty of managed services that you can deliver to the customer, because those are the things that really provide value to your customer and also a great earning opportunity for you as a partner. So by joining or by taking part of this program, you can expect to become really an AI champion and to be able to deliver a satisfactory AI project to your customer. So for those who want to start with, for example, our our AI Accelerator program. It is part of Aerosphere. So for those who already have an account on Aerosphere, you can simply access it in a knowledge center. For those who don't have an account on Aerosphere yet, we will share the link to Aerosphere so that you can create an account and access this great program. But obviously, those who prefer a more personalized approach, feel free to approach my colleague Romeo or myself, and we would be more than glad to help you in your AI needs. So with that, I would like to thank you all for your participation, for your time, and obviously we would like to remind you that our next session about Microsoft 365 Copilot is next week on the specified time. So for those who want to follow the Dutch version, it's on Wednesday. For those who want to follow the English version, it will be on Friday. So I do hope to get to see you all next week as well. And in case you have questions, feel free again to reach out to you. Also, Vincent, a big thank you to you for providing this session and for showing us all what is possible with Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So
welcome. Thank you for inviting me as well, and thanks for everyone for the questions. And I hope I see everyone next week, so we can work further on Copilot 365 and then agents.
Okay, wonderful. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Obrigado.
Bye, everyone.